We must treat the body rigorously, so the mind will not disobey. This is a quote from Seneca, and I think of this quote a lot when I'm at the gym or I'm about to go into some cold water or I'm about to do something that I really don't want to do. I think about how, for me to build my mind, a avenue to doing this is treating the body rigorously, to doing things that I don't want to do. Going for that extra rep, you know, like when you're squatting and you got a lot of weight on your back and it's scary, that's when you're treating the body rigorously. So the mind will not disobey. You tell yourself, I've done this before, or I've done close to this before. I know I can, there's a chance. I'm not just putting 1,000 pounds on my back and crushing myself to, die. That's not what's happening here. This is a weight that is going to be hard. It's a weight that's going to make me a little scared. But if I can treat my body rigorously here and tell my mind, no, we're going one more, then that will build discipline. And that will build discipline in so many avenues of life, of being able to push forward and pursue on things that you don't want to do, but things that you have to do, or things that you should do, or things that you need to do. And there's also great therapeutic things that you obtain from doing things such as cold water therapy. If you take a cold shower, it wakes you up. You get your body cold, and we have our core temperature, so your body's going down. So what does your core have to do? It has to heat it up. And what does heating something up do? It wakes it up. That's why when you're hot, you're tired because your body's trying to cool yourself down. You're cooling down. So you get more benefits than just mental benefits when you do things like that, or when you go for walks. That's not really treating the body rigorously, but you get mental clarity. So treat the body rigorously so the mind will not disobey. So your mind, your emotions will not be disobeying what you want to do. And the gym is a great way to just practice this day in and day out. Not listening to your emotions and not listening to the subtle desires you have, but knowing what you need to do and knowing what you should do and knowing that it's going to be hard, but that you should do it, so you will do it because you have practice in doing hard things, because it's what needs to be done. Because if not you, then who? And if not now, then when? So if you don't work out, I would highly recommend that you start working out, because there's so many benefits to it. you know there's the benefit that, like as we're talking about in this video, your mind will stop disobeying. There's also health benefits. I hear a lot of people say that they don't need protein because they don't work out, but everyone has muscles. And what do you think you're going to need when you're 80 years old? If you're lucky enough to make it to 80 years old, you're going to need your muscles. You're going to need your muscles to walk. Right now, you don't need your muscles. I mean, you need your muscles to walk, but it's not, at someone my age, a 20-year-old, typically, if they don't work out, they don't have trouble walking. But if you're 80 and you've never worked out before, I mean, even if you have worked out, walking might be hard, but it gives you a better chance. And it also gives you a better chance of making it to 80 from, working out, because at the end of the day, your heart is the most important muscle. And if you don't work out your heart, then you'll probably die young, or at least younger than you could have if you did cardio a couple days a week mixed with some high intensity training or just some weightlifting. So there's a bunch of benefits to training hard, but we'll just focus on the mind benefits in this one. And yeah, just you don't want your mind to disobey. So work on treating the body rigorously. And sometimes this pool behind me is probably, let's say, 60 degrees. Sometimes I like jumping into the pool. I don't like, tiptoeing in. It's not, no, none of that. But, sometimes I'm like, it's gonna be a little cold. And when that thought goes through my head, I like to just instantly jump in because, it's when that little bit of fear comes in, that little bit of discomfort. You realize there's going to be discomfort for a second and you're just like, maybe not. But then after, you feel awake. The cold water wakes you up, you feel good about yourself. You feel refreshed, and it's like when you're standing over on a cliff and you're about to jump into the water and, say even just a 15, 20-foot jump. I mean, it doesn't sound like a lot, but if you've jumped 15 to 20 feet, right before you jump, it's a lot. um, but yeah, I mean, there's that little bit of thing in your head that's like, don't do it. Like, you don't know, you could die. But when that thought comes in, you almost have to do it ASAP because as you let that doubt creep in, it gets harder and harder to do it. It doesn't get easier, sitting on the edge of a cliff looking down at your jump. It doesn't get easier waiting. It never does. You have to go. You have to jump ASAP before all that fear and doubt comes in because then you're just going to psych yourself out. And it's the same way with, doing things like that. You think, I should go to the gym right now. And you're like, no, I'll wait an hour. No, you should go right now. Why shouldn't you go right now? There's no reason not to go right now. And then, an hour later, something comes up and you're like, oh, I was going to go to the gym today, but then this came up. But the real answer is, I had time to go to the gym today, but I postponed it and then something came up. You had time. You have time to do the things that you want to do in this life, but you postpone life. And that's why you end up running out of time before you can achieve things. And treating your body rigorously will allow for your mind to more easily comprehend that and more easily go after your goals, your dreams, your aspirations, understanding that it's going to be uncomfortable. There's going to be change. It's going to be uncomfortable, but that's where growth is. That's where change is. Change and growth is not comfortable. It is not like you need change to grow. If you're not changing, then you're not growing. You know what I mean? Because if you're growing, you're changing. So if you're not changing anything, then you're not growing. Got a bug on me. um, so you need to be changing, or you're not going to grow. And if you're not growing, then what's the point? You should be committed to a life of lifelong learning, and you should be committed to growth and committed to getting better, improvement, self-improvement, because at the end of the day, self-improvement is spread out. And what I mean by that is if you are becoming a better person, then you are helping people around you. Whether that be from helping them, obtain lessons, helping them be more wise, helping them be intelligent, helping them, you know, being an example for them. They see you pursuing a life of betterment and they say, why not me? Why can't I do that? He's not any better than me. I'm not any better than you. So why would it be the case that I'm able to do these things and not you? That's not the case. I have no advantage over you. We both have the same abilities, and the only difference is just effort and trying. So, being an example for people is sometimes all you have to be. You don't need to preach to people to become better. Sometimes all they just need is that example. And sometimes all they need is that person to look towards to be like, he's doing it. He's being better. He's not going out every weekend. He's not partaking in peer pressure. He's not partaking in drugs and all these things. And he's reading and he's writing and he doesn't have social media. He doesn't have these things. So why do I? Why do I have these things that don't make me feel good about myself, but some reason I feel like I need? I mean, he must not feel like he needs them. So be an example to people because you're going to be an example one way or another. You're either going to be a good example or you're going to be a bad example because people will look at what you do and people will look at what you do for either affirmation or um, for a reason to not keep doing what they're doing, a reason to stop partaking in the things that are killing them and killing their soul. So you'll be an example one way or another. Might as well be a good one.